How do you think the nearshoring market is poised to deal with this nationalistic rhetoric out of the United States? Is this just a lot of noise, or are there practical business negatives for the nearshore market?
From our side, and being a diplomat, I have to be careful with what I say.
Sure,
but
sure.
but no, I just of course there is concern in Costa Rica about what could happen, because as I mentioned, so many American companies have established in Costa Rica, and if this is going to change, if they are going to go back home, but. We still think that could be, and because we are more targeted into the services, we think these changes could be start more into the manufacturer.
Right.
So maybe the services it's going to be like in the first stage of this. So we won't say it's noise, because it's so unpredictable so to see what is happening. But of course, we are taking the measures to, it's a matter of finding, how Costa Rica can do better, how we can become more competitive. It's like take this in-house. Doesn't matter what is happening outside. We need to keep improving, and to be able to, to keep attracting foreign direct investment, if it is not from America, but from other places.
Sure.
All right. But yeah, no, we don't think like in the short term is something that it will be affected immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
still, we are analyzing what could happen and
Right.
what things
And
we
by
should
the
be
way,
doing.
Michelle, I think it was only 2 weeks ago, Microsoft announced another 200 or 300 positions in Costa Rica.
Yes.
Correct?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
the drumbeat of announcements and expansions, I haven't really seen change.
Exactly. Yes, and that's a matter of fact that's the thing that we want to keep doing, right? Like keep trying to attract investment from our side, from Procomer. That's what we do, right? Promote Costa Rica International and keep this good news going to keep our companies calm about what could happen.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, what about you? So just and remind what Arturo, your colleague, your partner, made a really important point the other day we spoke. He said, you know what? It doesn't change the fact that companies have needs and have to meet
Yes.
those needs.
Yeah, and that's on the, again, we're part of a bigger group, and our offshore group is more on the manufacturing side. And so with that being said, we think and we feel, talking to our counterparts in Arizona, because we're right on the border of Arizona and Sonora, they don't expect anything major to happen. And not this border tax that we're talking about, because that could end up going back to the consumer in the United States, so we don't think that'll be a positive push in that direction. But who knows with this administration? Again, talking about the service side of it, again, this is a service side. We're talking about talent. We're talking about people. And for us, it's a little bit, our company is structured in such a way where you actually sign a contract with a U.S. entity. So we make sure we have that intellectual property. We're protecting the NAFTA deal as it stands now, and everything to us is still business as usual. So when you are working with our group, it's a little bit different on the side of the fact that we structure everything in the United States, and we're going to actually, due to all the political climate that we are looking at, we understand that some individuals and companies don't want to be in a foreign country. So we're going to be establishing our first U.S.-based operation in Tucson, and that'll be something that's going to be available for those clients who do not want to see the benefit of being in Mexico. We'll be able to present both sides of this to them and say, here's the benefit being here, being there. But again, when you look at that whole portion of what's going on in the marketplace, most of the American companies are already in Mexico. Again, we do so much bilateral trade with Mexico that it's astounding. When I crunched the numbers on this, and before this conference, I was like, wow, we do that much with Mexico. It's incredible. And so with the United States, between Mexico, I think it's about $582 billion a year, which is a lot of bilateral trade. Now, that being said, the majority of the clients that we do see kind of knocking on our door are the Indian clients looking to come back to somewhere near shore, save some more money, still not be in that United States because they don't know what's going to happen there. But so a lot of the influx that we've had has been on that Indian market.
That's a boom that's a positive for the nearshore market.
It's
a positive. I think for the nearshore market, it's a positive moving forward. And I think you'll find it too. A lot of companies, because again, we deal with the United States, there's not that many great English bilingual speakers back and forth in the United States. So that they're looking at, the United States is looking at Mexico as an upcoming emerging market, as well as a door to Latin America being,
Right.
you know.
So,
being the rest of
so if
South
I
America.
could summarize, you know, a company that sort of closes its doors and says, let's be very safe, risk averse, cautious, let's kind of bring it all back, they may well be missing the next generation of opportunity.
That's right. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that marketplace that's coming up in South America, including Mexico, Costa Rica. There's a market there to be had, and it is a bilingual market. And that's why we're trying to be a binational company as we are. Keep it growing, and we have clients from Canada as well as the United States, and it's something we keep on striving and trying to improve on. So, but again, it's right back to that issue of where you are trade-wise and how you want to do business. You can't build a wall, because those walls eventually, people will come through those walls eventually, no matter how you figure.
But it's going to be a big, beautiful wall.
It will be with a golden door.
Yes. A wall you've never seen.
Yes.
In Canada, it's a snow fence.
It's a
Right.
snow fence, yes.
Yeah, got it.
If you can make it from Montana.
So Ron, did you have a point off of that?
Yeah, and I think, Arturo, this is a wonderful strategy. So this
Mike,
is
Mike,
all happening real time. That you know, Trump got elected, surprise. But you know, robotics is all of a sudden on everybody's talk list. We did a survey. Academics always do surveys, and we asked people, about 100 people or so at an offshoring summit, how many are looking at reshoring, bringing stuff back home. 14% said, yep, we're doing it. And when they said, yes, we're doing it, we want to make it public. We want to say something. If they can bring it into the United States, but still some of it's being done in Mexico, that's fine, because they need to have a public face that fits with what's going on in the States right now. Somewhat, 44% said, yeah, we're planning, we're not quite sure what's going to happen. So we have 58% of the population saying, yeah, we're either going to do this for sure, or we're thinking about doing it very strongly. And to be able to leverage the low-cost locations, again, labor arbitrage, but have that face to the customer that's onshore is the best strategy, I think, going for the next few years at least.